Welcome to Global Winter School. Students, this is your first year chemistry class. I am Dr. Jan Bano, your chemistry tutor. Students, today we are going to discuss the introduction of the chapter 1. Chapter 1 is stoichiometry. Students, in today's lecture, we will just discuss the topics and the students learning outcomes of your first chapter, that is stoichiometry. First of all, I will tell you what is this students learning outcomes. Students, your upcoming exams will be your upcoming question papers about the science and English and Urdu. They will be on the base of students learning outcomes, SLOs. Nothing to worry about the SLOs. So you will think, what is this SLOs? Actually, students, after completing some topic, a chapter, you have some objectives. You have to clear the concept about that topic. When you will understand the topic, then you will be able to know, you will be able to determine, you will be able to calculate, and each and everything that is relevant to that particular topic. This is the students learning outcomes. So onwards, you have to thoroughly, you have to understand the a topic, and the question will be relevant to that topic, and you have to answer the exact what is you have to ask about that. Nothing to fill the sheets like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 pages. You have the specific given space. In that you have to give the answer that is exact asked from your that topic. So we will discuss the students learning outcomes. We will also discuss the particularly learning outcomes to a particular topic in the next videos. The major topics you have to learn about in this chapter are like stoichiometry, the mole, Avogadro's number. These stoichiometry, mole, Avogadro numbers, they are interconvertible. So you have to understand what is stoichiometry, what is mole, what is Avogadro's number. Then we will discuss the percentage composition, then limiting and non-limiting reactant. Students, even you can't understand the limiting and non-limiting reactant if you don't have the knowledge of the mole and Avogadro's number and stoichiometry. So this is very important to understand the concept of these topics. Then we will discuss the theoretical yield, actual yield, and percentage yield. And for these yields, you should know about the stoichiometry, mole, Avogadro's number, molar volume. This all we will discuss in chapter number 1. Actually, these topics you have already discussed in your previous grade like 9th and 10th. Like about atomic mass units, relative atomic mass, and relative molecular mass, chemical species, mole concept. But in this chapter, now we will discuss in details these are the topics. And module, or you can say this is the chapter learning outcomes. So what is the your module learning about the first chapter, stoichiometry? What are your outcomes? So after completing this chapter, Chapter 1, stoichiometry, students, you will be able to interpret a balanced chemical equation in terms of interacting moles, representative particles means Avogadro's number, mass and volume of gas at standard temperature and pressure. So when you have a sufficient knowledge about stoichiometry, mole, Avogadro's number, then you will be able to interconvert all these mole into Avogadro's number into mole, mole into mass, and vice versa. Then you will be able to construct a mole ratio from balanced chemical equation. We will discuss what are the balanced chemical equation, what are the non-balanced chemical equation for use as convergence factors in stoichiometric problems. Stoichiometric problems we will discuss with the help of different numericals. We will solve the stoichiometric problems so you can understand thoroughly the stoichiometry, mole, and Avogadro's number. Then you will be able to perform stoichiometric calculation with balanced chemical equation using mole, representative particles, mass, and volume of the gases at standard temperature and pressure. What is standard temperature and pressure? These all we will discuss in a particular topics. Then you will be able to, you students, I'm talking to you students, you will be able to identify the limiting reactant in a reaction. What is the limiting reactant in a reaction? What is the non-limiting reactant in a reaction? Then you will be able to calculate the maximum amount of the product, how much product is formed, and the amount of unreacted Excessive reagent means non-limiting reactant. By knowing the limiting reactant in a reaction, so we will understand this with the help of solving some numericals, actually performing the calculations. You will be able to calculate by given information from which any two of the following may be determined. If you have given a 2, the third one you can calculate, like theoretical yield, actual yield, or percentage yield. Even students, you will be able to calculate the theoretical yield and the percentage yield when given the balanced chemical equation, only if you have given the balanced chemical equation and you have given the mass or mole of some reactant, then you will calculate the theoretical yield, and if you have given the actual yield, then you will be able to calculate the percentage yield. And students, we will discuss these all topics and your learning outcomes will be clear in 7 to 8 videos. In the first video we have just discussed, I have given you the overview of the chapter 1 stoichiometry. Just I have given you the introduction and what are the students learning outcomes and what are the major topics of the chapter 1. Then we will, in one lecture we will discuss the stoichiometry, in other we will discuss the mole concept, the Avogadro's number, percentage, composition, limiting and non-limiting reactant, and different types of the yield. We will also discuss how to attempt the multiple choice question. I will tell you during the lectures how to attempt the short response question and how to attempt the extended response question. But we will have a different lecture, different session, just how you can attempt the multiple choice question, because these are very important, how to attempt the question. So we will just onward we will study our sciences and English and Urdu on the base of learning outcomes, your learning outcomes, what you have learned from the topics and what you have understand from different topics.